When I was 18, I dropped out of college and moved back in with my parents, only to find that shortly after that I was getting kicked out. So I had to make a budget, find a job, find an apartment, find a roommate, and figure out how hard life was going to be without a college degree and without any support from my parents. But an interesting thing happened. When I decided to do all of those things, make the budget, find the job, all of that sort of stuff, I started really developing this sense of motivation. So I went to Walgreens, bought an extremely expensive leather bound journal, really expensive pens, and started journaling down my plan to fix my life. And for whatever reason, when I was putting together this plan to become the most uncomfortable I had ever been in my life, which was supporting myself on my own bills, getting my own apartment, finding my own roommate, and making my own budget all at the age of 18, I was just overwhelmed with this sense of motivation and positivity and wanting to do more things that were going to push myself and challenge myself and make myself more uncomfortable. I was beaming with motivation. I felt like I was on drugs. And after writing everything down, I felt more calm and in so like I was in so much control of my life. And I went to bed that night so happy, fulfilled, and yeah, I just couldn't wait for the next day. Fast forward to about 8 to 10 months later, and I am being patted down by a police officer on the side of the road, intoxicated on multiple substances. So it's safe to say that I wasn't very close to my end goal. After that night where I wrote everything down in that super expensive journal with those really nice pens, I woke up and life was hard again. I still had my packs of cigarettes, I still had the booze underneath my bed, and I just didn't have that fire under my ass to go after everything I wanted. That was the real first roller coaster ride of motivation that I had experienced. And I've learned a lot since then. That was 10 years ago, and I've had a lot more roller coaster rides since then. But I really do believe that I've learned how to play this game. All in all, I've been able to accomplish so many things that I've set my mind to. Whether it's 30-day challenges like running a 5K every day for 30 days, or making it to the top of the coffee company that I worked at. Before this gets to be a big long ramble, I really want to get into the point of this video, which is motivation, how to get it and how to keep it. And there are three things that I've learned out of the many, many things that I think if you focus on these three things, you will stay motivated forever. With only one caveat that I am only using the word motivation because it is the word that you will resonate with right now. And by the end of the video, I will hope that you resonate with a different word that I will bring up. But first, let's start with motivation. Motivation is a sledgehammer. It is great for destroying things, but it is very bad for building things. Motivation is a great way to dump all the booze down the drain. It's a great thing for tidying up your room, destroying the clutter and all of the stuff that you've surrounded yourself with. It's great for breaking off those friendships that are just not serving you or maybe pulling you deeper into the hole that you're in. Motivation is great for the necessary demolition of our lives so that we can start building a new life on top of the ground. However, when it comes to building, if you try and build a house with a sledgehammer, you're not going to get very far, and you may run into just destroying what you've built at some point along the way on accident. And so, really, when it comes to motivation, it's supposed to be temporary. It's supposed to be a short lived experience that helps you destroy everything holding you back. And that is how you should use it. You should not be trying to use motivation to build up the life of your dreams. That is for something entirely different. So, this brings me to my second point that motivation is temporary and it is also elusive. I'd like to start by talking about the elusive nature of motivation. And this comes from how we talk about it. We usually say, I'm trying to find the motivation to do X, or I can't find the motivation to do Y, right? We talk about it like it's some sort of treasure that we're on the hunt for. And a lot of us, I think, are on the hunt for a treasure that doesn't exist, which is the motivation that never ends. The motivation that's going to carry us all the way until we die, where we lose the 100 pounds, we write the best selling novel, we create the movie, we get the job, we get the promotion, we get the girl, we get the house, we get the family, and it's all just sunshine and rainbows and endless motivation forever. That treasure doesn't exist. Goggins doesn't have it. Huberman doesn't have it. Jocko doesn't have it. Joe Rogan doesn't have it. All of these people who are supposed to be the most motivating people in the world all understand that they don't have the endless supply of motivation. But it's so easy to fall into this trap. And when we do get that temporary hit of motivation, we often trick ourselves into thinking that this is the time where it's going to last forever. This is the time where we're going to get to work out 6 days a week and stick to that diet every single day for the rest of our lives. We believe that it's just going to be easy from here on out, and motivation creates delusion in this way. So please just remember that when you get motivation, it is the time to destroy the things in your life that are holding you back and make room to build up the healthy lifestyle that you've always wanted. But now you're probably asking two things. One, how do I even find that slight amount of motivation that's required for me to destroy the parts of my life that are holding me back? And two, how am I supposed to reach my goals if I only ever get motivated for a couple days at a time? Well, the first one is easier to answer than the second one, so I'm going to start by answering the first one. And that all has to do with what you absorb. When you absorb content and media that motivates you, you get motivated. Simple, easy. What are some things that I like to consume that motivate me? Nick Bare has a lot of really awesome videos about his sub 3 hour marathon, about his 100-mile race. David Goggins has some great podcasts where he tells his story, and I get a lot of motivation through those. I love the movies Miracle on Ice.
This cannot be a team of common men, because common men go nowhere. You have to be uncommon.
Play for the United States of America!
Rocky movies, those things all provide a lot of motivation in my life. If you like something a little more generic, you can just type in on YouTube 5-minute motivational video, and you'll find all sorts of videos that are going to be that generic get up and grind motivation mentality. If none of these things motivate you, there probably are things that do. You know of somebody or something or some media company that has created something where when you watched it, you have wanted to attack life more than ever. You have to seek that stuff out. And that is how you get motivation to start your journey. Okay, now let's try and answer the harder question. The second one, that is, how am I supposed to achieve my goals when I'm only ever motivated a couple days at a time? Well, earlier you heard me talk about a word that I was going to tell you about, and this is where it comes in. That word is determination. Motivation helps you start, and determination keeps you going. Determination is a little bit trickier to build than motivation. With motivation, you can just watch a motivational clip, get that motivation, and start your journey. With determination, we follow a bit more of a math equation-y type solution, or how I like to view it is a game with a point system. And the funny thing about this game is that when you're building determination, you're building it 10 points at a time. And when you're losing determination, you only lose it 1 point at a time. So, what are the things that get you 10 points? You get 10 points for consuming positive content and producing positive action. So, when you clean your room, you get 10 points. When you go to the gym, you get 10 points. When you eat a healthy meal, you get 10 points. When you help someone else in need, you get 10 points. Now, on the contrary, when you produce a negative action or you consume negativity, you lose a point. So when you gossip, when you feel like a victim, when you skip the gym, when you scroll too far, when you eat an unhealthy meal, when you watch the news, when you figure out the latest drama, and anything like that, you lose a point. So let's paint a picture here. Say you're starting at 0 points. You're at baseline. You go ahead and you pick up your room and make it nice and clean. Congratulations, you've just given yourself 10 points. But say directly after that, you go ahead and lay in bed at 2 p.m. Now, if you know much about trying to get the best sleep possible, you would know that laying in bed at 2 p.m. is a negative action towards that, so that's minus a point. Then, say you pull out your phone and start scrolling on TikTok. That's minus another point. Say then you start going into a deep hole where you're on TikTok for over an hour. That's another missed point. And then, Say you start seeking out some negative content, like you type in something on YouTube like the problem with X or the latest drama on Y. That's minus another point. And then say you get hungry or bored and you go into your pantry and you pull out a bag of chips. That misses another point. And then say you call your friend up and they have some gossip to tell you. And instead of saying, I don't want to hear about it, why don't we talk about something better than this? Or just diverting the conversation, you listen and participate in the gossip. That's minus 2 points because you've consumed negativity and then you have created a negative action. So you can see how you can lose your points really, really easily. But this also means that in order to develop determination, you don't have to be perfect all the time. In fact, to have positive determination building, you really only need to be good 10% of the time. The rest of your life can be full of all of the negative pleasures that you want, as long as you've done enough positive things in order to keep your determination score positive. And that's where going to the gym and eating healthy are such an amazing thing. So picture this. You wake up on time, you don't hit snooze. You eat a healthy breakfast, you go to the gym, and you get to work on time. It's not even 9 a.m., and you have developed 40 points. Then say you have a healthy mid morning snack, a healthy lunch, and after work, you take your dog for a walk and you listen to an audiobook. Then you have a healthy dinner and you go to bed on time. I can't even do the math, but that's like 110 points towards your determination. So, if you've done all of that, just think of all of the negative things that you can do in a day and still have a positive score. Now, where people get into trouble is that they build up this giant determination score over the course of a couple weeks. And then they start to feel invincible. They feel like they're going to be this way forever. They get cocky. They start consuming negative content more regularly. They start staying up later. They start sleeping in because they have the mentality of, my determination score, or subconsciously, they think, my determination score is so big that I can afford to do these few things. Life is all about balance, right? Well, think about it. Every time you're not waking up on time, you aren't only losing a point, you also aren't gaining the 10 points, which is an 11-point loss. Every time you don't eat that healthy meal, you're not only just losing that 1 point for eating unhealthy, you're losing the other 10 points because you would have gotten them if you were to eat healthy. And so that downward spiral comes so much faster than you think. And eventually, given 3 to 6 months, sometimes you're even further back than when you first started. And you wonder why you even tried to improve yourself in the first place. And you start saying self improvement culture is toxic, body positivity is the way to go. People who work out every single day have a mental health problem. I just want to live. I just want to be comfortable, blah, 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 right? All of that really is just a defense mechanism against your disappointment in what you have done to yourself. Sorry, telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But really, the positive and good thing about this is that it doesn't take a lot to build determination in your life. It takes 7 or 8 positive things a day. If you did that every single day, that would skyrocket your ability to build determination and your quality of life. Now, this last point that I have is the most important, and that is that building up determination is all on you. It's not on how your parents raised you. It's not on your spouse. It's not on your kids. It's not on your job. It's not on the government. It's not on the school. It's on you. I used to hear stuff like this and take it super personally and like it was such a dig at my own self worth and such a critical aspect of what somebody was trying to tell me. And I would just respond in my head like, fuck you, man. You don't know me. You don't know how my parents raised me, how my nightly practice of examination of conscience left me insanely self critical and afraid of hell every single night from the age of 5. You don't get that my girlfriends have cheated on me and that every time I try and quit smoking, somebody offers me one, and that all my friends want to do are drugs, and that my place is a mess and I've been backstabbed and lied to and all of this. Like, you don't get it. You don't know me, blah, blah, blah. I get it. And if that's where you are, I don't know what I could say to help you figure something else out. All I know is that I figured it out eventually. And my life never changed until I did figure out that it is all on me. If my life is going to improve, it's up to me. There is no set of circumstances out there. Nobody's coming to save me. No job is going to be amazing. Your friends are going to be the people that you surround yourself with and that you choose to spend time with, and on and on and on. And what really helped me was understanding that this law of the universe gives you so much power. When it's no longer your parents' fault, when it's no longer your friend's fault, when it's no longer your partner's fault, when it's no longer the school's fault, it is up to you. You have the power to change. And with this information, you can become unstoppable. Thank you so much for watching. Like it if you liked it. Subscribe, hit the bell button, follow me on Instagram, and DM me if you're looking for some fitness coaching. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.